Welcome back. I'm Matt Lee. We've had reporters in Asheville this weekend covering the Southern Conference Tournament. Let's check in with our Justin Biegel and Jamie Daffner for the highlights. Guys?
Thank you very much, Matt. The women's basketball team showed both physical and mental toughness against Sanford in the quarterfinals of the SoCon tournament on Saturday. With a speedy turnaround time, the team would have to rebound quickly before taking on Davidson in the semifinals. Senior Kelsey Evans and Allie Ford stole the show last time, and the two started out hot early this time. Here, Kelsey Evans drains a three-point shot in the corner, and she would finish with 16 points. Next, Shannon Cochran gets a feed from Jessica Farmer and puts up the one-handed layup. She would rack up 14 points and an impressive 6 rebounds. However, Davidson would quickly respond, knocking down this three just before halftime. ELN would find themselves down 9 until Kelsey Evans spots teammate Kelsey Harris under the basket, who puts it in for the easy bucket. But Davidson's 1-2 combo of Laura Murray and Sophia Alexandrakis would prove to be too much for the Phoenix, and Davidson hangs on to beat Elon 71-61. After the game, Kelsey Evans discussed what went wrong in this matchup.
We weren't as focused, I think, on our assignments today and kind of what we needed to do. Defensively, we weren't as good as we were last week, and I think that's pretty much what it boils down to.
So definitely a very disappointing loss for the Phoenix. Allie Ford and Kelsey Evans end their collegiate careers with the loss, just one step away from that SoCon final. But Jamie, you were covering the men. What happened on Saturday?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the men faced a similar fate as the women in their semifinal match against the College of Charleston. There was a pretty good showing of fans that made it to Asheville for the weekend. The team knew they had to give everything they had to compete with a tough Charleston team, but the Cougars were hot out of the gate, shooting their way to a quick 11-0 lead to start the game. Willis Hall got things started with a 3-ball, and moments later, Anthony Stitt would hit from downtown. The Cougars shot 41% from three-point land. Elon freshman Tanner Sampson would respond, though, with a 3 of his own. After the slow start, the Phoenix fought their way back into the game, closing the gap to only 2 points late in the second half. Junior Lucas Troutman led all scorers with 23 points, but him and his teammates' efforts weren't quite enough. When Elon needed to most, they couldn't stop Charleston from scoring and eventually fell to the Cougars 68-60. Here's head coach Matt Matheny's thoughts on the tournament loss.
We have learned to dream really big, and when you walk the high wire, the fall is really painful. But we wouldn't have it any other way. We want to walk the high wire, and we'll continue to do that.
Well, guys, it was a tough weekend for Elon. You know, 2 losses in the semifinals. But Matt, you covered baseball this weekend. How'd that go?
Well, it was interesting. The Elon baseball team took on the Charleston Cougars this weekend in a 3-game series. The Phoenix won a thrilling 3-2 walk-off win on Friday and hoped for another win on Saturday. Phoenix pitcher Kyle Webb started on the mound and had an outstanding performance, striking out a career-high 10 hitters and allowing just 2 unearned runs. Elon's offense went on a 4-run burst to lead 4-0 heading into the 6th inning when the bullpen took over, allowing 9 runs on 5 hits and 8 walks. Wild pitches destroyed Elon's composure, and the Cougars would score 6 runs in 1 inning. The Phoenix would blow a 4-0 lead, losing 11-6. The baseball team looked to avenge their loss against the Cougars in the final game of the weekend series on Sunday. The Phoenix pitching staff continued to struggle, allowing 2 walks and 3 runs in the first inning alone. Jimmy Holton of the Cougars singled in the 3rd inning to put the Cougars up 5-0. The Phoenix were able to get back 1 run in the 3rd, but the Cougars added 2 more in the 8th to make the lead 7-1. Elon would try to rally 1 more time in the 8th and 9th innings, scoring 3 runs, but the comeback came a little too late as Elon would lose 7-4, winning only 1 game of the 3-game series. The Elon softball team also played a series weekend game this time against Georgia Southern. The girls lost the doubleheader on Saturday and looked to avoid a sweep in the final game of the series on Sunday. The girls got off to a rough start as Georgia Southern scored 2 runs in the 1st inning, but the Phoenix were able to answer back after a wild pitch allowed Watson to score. Running right behind her was Hill, who sprinted past 3rd base and dove into home plate to tie the game up at 2. After this play, the Phoenix struggled to score the rest of the way as 11 Elon hitters would strike out throughout the entire game. The Eagles took advantage of the Elon's cold streak as Finley would single to left field to bring the Eagles up 4-2. The Phoenix would not be able to rally and would lose 5-2.